all gonna get wet or soiled. You're asking the wrong person. Is that gonna be opened and what are you talking about? What do we look like, the Gallagher of noise rock or something?
Missed predictions continued. Past experiences had shown crime taking a sharp upward turn in World Fair cities. Knoxville and Knox County officials were preparing for an influx of criminals, from pickpocketers to terrorists. The World's Fair crime wave never came, though. At the end of September, statistics showed an 8.4 decrease in overall crime compared to 1981. Tales of prostitutes invading the city were widespread. City officials said they had received word of women flocking to Knoxville. The police cracked down on prostitution, and those transient ladies of the evening never showed up.
What do you want to know? Give me your questions. What are these questions?
Well, I thought, what do you want to say about the Out series? We can add
nothing. Not a goddamn thing. I want to leave it to the imaginations of the people who stick their heads in, listen for about 8 seconds, then go, like, roll their eyes and walk out.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. That tells it all right there. That tells the whole story. When you can, like, sit behind a bar and someone's on stage going, and then people, poke their heads in for 8 seconds at the most, and then roll their eyes and walk out. You don't really need to say much else. That basically sums it up.
I'm Matt Nelson, and I started the Out series. I had been into playing free jazz, free improvised music for only really a short time. I was pretty much only playing with Jake Smith, the guitarist, and Garrett Tillman, drummer. And I knew Jason Boardman's brother at the time. He's a drummer named Jordan. And he suggested that I reach out to this place because we didn't have anywhere we could play out. We'd just been jamming at each other's houses, whatever we could do.
Hi, I'm Jason Boardman, the founder and the executive director of the Pilot Light. I think it was in late 2016, early 2017, he got in touch with me, and obviously he had been playing here a lot and doing, solo and group performances, and he wanted to start doing a regular improvised, early series. So I gave him Tuesdays, I think it was 6 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, that was my My only involvement really was just saying yes.
Matt and I had this interest in free jazz. I'm pretty sure he also introduced me to Albert Eiler as well. So like we were getting into that stuff. I remember one time like drunk at a party, and we were like, let's just play out. And we started playing, and I was like, this is awesome. And Matt and my other buddy were like, man, that was terrible. That was terrible. And yeah, and then we didn't really play anything like that for quite a while after that.
The beginning of it was, they were all house shows over at Matt Nelson's house, and then they came here once a month on, I think, the first Tuesday of the month, and then sometime right before COVID or just after COVID, it became a regular weekly thing.
My initial idea was to do something where everyone came in and wrote their name down, and then we would put them in random groups. That idea was kind of scrapped, and I'm glad that it was. Now it's like evolved into this thing where each person has their own identity in this style of music, which I think is probably the most attractive thing about this style of music, is that more than like straight ahead jazz almost, more, you have no choice but to sound like yourself.
How would you describe the people that are part of the Out series?
Scrapers, one and all. Whether they know it or not, that's what they are. They're a bunch of fucking scrapers.
What's a scraper?
What's a scraper? What's a scraper? It's someone who takes an idea to its logical, annoying conclusion via whatever instrument they started out as a kid playing bar chords or like simple lines that are semi-melodically pleasing to their mom. And then they figure at some point, that one time my mom grounded me and wouldn't let me go to the carnival and hang out with the carnies and the weirdos. Damn, that pissed me off. So just to get back at their mom for doing that, they're going to take the instrument that they used to play semi-melodically things on that made their mom happy, and they're going to take that instrument and they're going to go and scrape on it or scrape it on something else and make a sound that makes their mom want to go to the carnival, get on the biggest Ferris wheel she can find, pay the guy who's running it to make it stop when she's at the top, and then she's going to jump off. That's what a scraper is.
It's funny how a person that you will see on stage here sometimes, you will think, oh my God, I don't want to talk to that person. They must be absolutely out of their mind. And then it kind of blows my mind how inviting and almost like normal people maybe are sometimes when compared to what they present on stage.
The community of the Out series to me is extremely varied. You have people that are more or less, academics in the music field, and then you have people that are just, scuzzy punk rockers as well, and you have some older music enthusiasts that may be a generation, or two apart from the younger crowd that's there. So the community that's built around it is very cool because the audience is so varied. And then the community of musicians themselves is very varied, if I can say that. And that makes it really interesting.
Where is your love? Who knows your pain? Is it written in the drops of the falling rain?
The definition of what music is in this context gets stretched to such an extent that it's like it starts to beg the question, is this even music? In some ways. And I think sometimes it's not, sometimes it is, and I think it really is. It's kind of just like up to who the people are and what they're doing on any given night.
This music isn't functional, doesn't have like a function. It's not like something that you do just so people can have something to dance to. It's not like entertainment in like a conventional kind of sense. It is entertaining, I guess, but that's not the goal of it. So the intentions seem really pure. We do it to do it. It just is what it is. And people want to come and experience it with us and experience like the moment of something being created.
One of my favorite things about the Out series is a lot of just the best musicians in town will come and blow off steam on Mondays in such interesting ways. Like, anyone who didn't know the musicians that come here and just walk in off the street could easily say, wow, this guy sucks at guitar, because they're going so far out of the realm of their instrument.
starts with something as simple as like Matt Nelson being like, what if I stick a cardboard paper towel tube in a bass and play it? And then Jake Smith doing like clips on guitar and stuff like that, and like the prepared stuff. But then there's also the people who are really electronically based and like come up with different ideas. And sometimes it's just like combining two different things, like two people with different ideas and bringing them together and hashing it out on stage for the first time.
As far as I'm concerned, the Pilot Light and the Out series are Knoxville's music scene. For those that do have an open enough mind, you're going to see like some of the best musicianship you've ever seen, consistently from week to week. And it makes me sad that like so many people just miss out on that. And I feel also really blessed to have been able to come into that and be a part of that scene.
This type of musical reality, I don't think it's that prevalent anymore. And it needs to be, because I think it's like if you lose the ability to get on the stage and make up something as you're going along, I think it takes away from like what it means to be a human being that's evolved on this planet for like millions of years. You know, it's so integral to being a creature on this planet, and has been for so long, that I find it quite unnatural when that type of activity is either frowned upon or made fun of or just dismissed, because it's like, what? You know, like, this is what it's like to be a human being.
In many ways, the Out series and improvised music, it's just another genre of music. But I think that there is something genuine in terms of what people are trying to do here on a Monday night, right? I mean, we just live in a culture that even, the kind of popular mass culture music industry, or the way that art, as it shows up in mass culture, is just such a commodified thing. Music in mass culture these days is basically just advertising, and turning music and turning art into digestible little bite-sized commodities. And I think most of the people involved in the Out series would understand what we're doing here to be an attempt to do something different, to do something outside of that culture industry.
Initiation comes from a place of discomfort. And I think that the Out series not only provides a home for people that are avant-garde, it lets people say, hey, there's more than just, this 9 to 5, red light, yellow light, green light, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, that there's a whole another world of sound out there that's possible, even with an instrument you have laying around.
People come here to see and experience music, whereas any other place around here is a lot of cover bands, a lot of country acts, singer-songwriter, and all those things have their place. But this is somewhere to come to just see true experimentation and creativity.
So coding is something I've been doing a long time, and then music is something I've been doing a long time as well. I've started playing guitar, 30-something years ago. But only recently, in the past couple of years, I've tried to combine the two ideas. So I've been doing something called live coding. I'm using the computer much like people would use a pedal board or a synthesizer plus pedal board plus looping station. The live coding, though, has been a very interesting new type of challenge for me because I'm kind of used to like playing wrong notes and stuff like that occasionally on stage or often on stage. But when you start getting like compiler errors and coding errors on your screen, it's a whole different level of like live live performance.
The last one I did was earlier this week, duo with Hunter, and I hadn't played guitar in a week, and I hadn't played with him in months, and we agreed ahead of time, no plan whatsoever, not talking. The talk was to not talk about what we were gonna do, and it ended up being definitely one of the more top 10 like fun ones I've ever done here. We just synced up right away, and I think it's a sense of being on on an adventure and really not knowing where it's gonna go. It's because that sort of thing is not, it's not a song. There's nothing, you don't know what's coming.
That's the beautiful moment about improvisation, is when, you know, there's inherently not necessarily like a groove to it. There's not time. You're gonna go and dance to someone just playing wild stuff. But when someone is playing something that's out of time and is atonal and could just be a bunch of racket, but you find yourself actually kind of moving and grooving to it because there's something happening in there. That's the beautiful moment. And then when it goes from that to tunnel vision is, that's a beautiful thing, and that does happen.
I think everybody that is part of this thing is looking for something. They're looking for something within themselves. What can I do that I've never done before? I'm really interested in producing something genuinely new. And the Out series is a place that just gives itself to experimenting with that goal in mind.
I think the Out series presents the possibilities of the spirit like taking over and taking over the performer and the audience. I think that reality has more of a chance of happening during a Monday night Out series show than other shows. If only because there's just like a certain aura or experience or sound or there's just something.
You know, a lot of different religions, you know, they pray or they meditate or they speak in tongues or they sing hymns. And a lot of, when you break it down, kind of the purpose of that is to give away something. think as human beings, we ingest too many things. A lot of things that we can't handle. Too much information, especially nowadays. And you kind of have no choice. Well, you do have a choice. You can either give it away in the way that makes sense to you, or you can hold on to it and it will drive you crazy. But that's what you're going for, is to get to the point where the music is like playing itself. And I think everybody that's played the Out series has experienced that one time or another.
For me, no other form of music lends itself to letting go than does this kind of free improvisation. There are moments up here where I just forget myself. And that's something that I think we all are trying to figure out how to do, how to forget yourself, or at least how to be genuinely connected with your reality or with your environment in a given moment.
There's this feeling when you're on stage of just like remembering there are other people there with you after a second, because you get so lost in it. You just get caught up in the moment, in the energy, and just like you kind of leave yourself a little bit. So like, what if you want to call it spiritual or mystical or whatever, but like transcendent is the word I would use.
Just so many interesting, magical moments have happened that I would call that spiritual at that point, whatever that is. It's just something that sort of transcends an easy understanding.
I think there is something to be said about the fugue state you enter when you're improvising, both on your own and with someone else, because you have to keep track of what you're playing. You have to be also at the same time actively and forever listening to what's happening, whether you're on your own and you need to listen to what you're hearing and react to that. I think there is like something spiritual to that, like fugue state that you reach when you're not really thinking about anything and you're just playing and listening, and it's all happening automatically. And it's all happening without you really thinking at all.
The first thing that I play is usually just this gesture that I have no idea how it's going to sound. And then I take that and use my intuition, partially from just being a human being. I have this intuition, but also partially all that stuff that I've listened to and all the life experience that I've had has helped me create my intuition. Yeah, I take these leaps of faith and use my intuition to turn it into something that I think is good.
Can you talk about Matt Nelson? What does Matt Nelson mean to you? What does his music mean to you?
Matt Nelson, the thinking man's scraping musician, scraping music's thinking man. The guy is he's like a mountain, like of musical expression and inspiration, and I don't think I've ever seen him play a crappy set, like ever. I don't think he's capable. I think he's one of, there are some people that reach this rarefied state where they can't it seems like they can't play a crappy set because they've been doing it for so long and so intensely that they've crossed over. Like they've climbed to the top of the mountain, and they're just like, yep, I got this. Like he and in my opinion, he's one of those people. It's just stunning. Like every time I see him, I'm never disappointed. I mean, are there certain sets that he's played that are better than others? Sure, yeah, just like anyone. But they're never, even his crappiest set is never truly crappy. You know, it's like, it's, there's always something that he's doing that is just like, holy crap, listen to this, man, I can't believe this is happening. And on a good night, it's just like astounding. And you feel, you know, I mean, I feel my spirit like moved by what he creates sonically.
Every time I see Matt Nelson, every time afterwards, I always find myself saying to him, that was my favorite set of yours. And every time I mean it.
I remember seeing Matt at a Pilot Light show, just doing a solo set on his upright bass and just doing a bunch of extended techniques and getting some of the craziest sounds that I've ever heard. And it was a really like special experience. It kind of flipped my mind on the whole concept of experimental music. I thought it was kind of nonsense for a long time.
I've seen Matt Nelson do stuff up here that is just, it's just incredible. It's astonishing. Matt's solo sets, and particularly his solo sets on the upright bass, are just in a class of its own. It's singular. And some of the sets that Matt has done solo are genuine events. Something really happened.
Matt has just stayed so consistent with what he's doing. He's had so many different kind of these like little eras of his different types of playing, and he's a huge influence, I think, to all of us because, and especially me. I mean, I've played with him for 15 years in all kinds of different music. And yeah, when it comes to this stuff, I mean, we've played together so much that it's like we can almost read each other's minds in this stuff.
He played on a lot of shows where we needed somebody that, like the day before, and he would always show up, and play an amazing set, leaving the traveling bands just like amazed with what he had done. And I don't know, he's just a gem to this city and community.
First off, he's one of the worst people you will ever meet. Nah. That's not going to make it in.
So the question is what is out? As in, what does the concept of out mean to you? What is the outside? What are we outside of at the outside? So what is out? La 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 la. A-U-T-O-U-T. However way you spell it, we're gonna go there. Yeah, we're gonna go out, 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 out. We're gonna go out, 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 out. We're gonna go out. Gonna go out. Gonna go out, 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 out. However way you spell it, we're gonna go out. You can go out anytime you wanna go out. If you don't wanna go out, stay inside and be scared, 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 scared. S-C-A-R-E-D, scared. A-F-R-A-I-D, scared. Scared, 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 scaredy, 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 scared, scaredy cat, scaredy cat. That's all I can really say about what it means to go out.
What are people trying to do now, seriously?
It's all of it, really. There's a quote, an overheard quote that I've kept misattributing for a while, but I learned the other day that Ryan Dunaway was the one that heard it. He was talking to somebody about Monday night in the Out series, and that person said, in regards to the Out series, I hear they've just let you do anything up there. And that has stuck with me so much because I think they meant it in a pejorative way, but I think that is the truth and the beauty of it, that you can really go up on stage and do whatever you want. And there's such a sense of collaboration within the scene, and the fact that this sort of small scene exists as a large friend group with like friends playing with friends, and people trying different things out. And I don't even mean to say that in that like Monday night is a place for you to practice. Monday night is a place for you to perform, but perform in a way that comes from nothing. And I think that, that's why I really love free improv.
What is out?
Yeah. What is out?
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 Is not in.
Out is out.
Out is out of the ordinary.
It's it's beautiful and natural, even when it sounds like a horrible racket.
Maybe it's out of your mind. I'm not sure.
Out, would be inconceivably amazing.
I mean, I think it's very open to perspective.
I don't really think I know.
It is absolutely free. I'm not trying to advertise it here, but my gosh, what else are you going to do on a Monday night?
I don't know if that's for me to decide. I think it's for you to decide. That's my answer.
I've been wheeled out on gurneys all over this goddamn town. There's a distinct possibility I might be completely fucking sick of this. You would be too if your dick was in the Union and your head was a scab. If your dick was in the Union and your head was a scab. If your head was in the Union, your head was a scab.